What's going on, everybody? RBL Weekly back on the air for week 27 of the inaugural Roast Battle League season. I am the RBL Commissioner, Pat Barker, here to run through the top 5 battles of the week with you guys. As always, as I said before, week 27 of the season, we only have 7 weeks left as teams fight and claw to try to get that second playoff spot, and the top 2 teams in each division try to ward them off. And this was a great week. We had submissions actually from 11 of the 12 RBL cities. The only city that did not send in a battle was Barcelona, and with good reason. They just ran their first show in a couple of months as they kick off their fall tournament. Looking forward to seeing more from them going forward. But this week we had 11 cities submit battles. We sent them off to our people who watch them, got everybody's opinions, and 8 of the 11 cities were ranked on different ballots. Which makes my job a little bit tougher. You know, you gotta go by total points and see who belongs there. But there were a couple cities that were ranked as high as 3rd on certain ballots. 2 different cities were ranked as high as 3rd on different ballots, left off of other ones entirely. So there was a lot of controversy, a lot of discrepancy between the voters this week. But the 5 that we have are the 5 that collectively we all thought were the top battles of the week. And we're going to launch right into it. We'll look at the standings and everything later, but we're going to launch right into it right now with the number 5 battle of the week, and it comes to us from Toronto. Now, Toronto, it's been kind of a rough season. At this point, they're maybe just playing spoiler for the playoffs a little bit. But maybe they're going to try to make a run at this thing, you know? They're consistent, they run battles, and they send them in, and they gave us a hell of a battle this week. Really enjoyed watching this one. It's our number 5 battle of the week between Foad HP and Sebastiano Fazio. Here it is.
Sebastian's dad left his family after he knocked up a stripper, but Sebastian is nothing like his father. He could never come inside a woman.
Yeah, guys, keep it going for Foad HP over here. Yeah, he looks like Freddie Mercury and the guy who gave him AIDS. No, seriously, his mustache is beautiful. I was relieved because now kids aren't the only thing he grooms.
Says Danny Matheson.
Oh my God.
Relevance.
Okay, wow, got called a rapist by the audience.
At least, wait, no, the difference between Foad and Danny Masterson is Danny Masterson is an actor who makes money.
And rapes. So we know where Sebastian's fucking, okay, Sebastian. Buddy, get your priorities straight. I may be a rapist, but I'm making money. I want to be a poor rapist, that's gross.
Then you're just an ish. I never do.
Ooh, all right, yes. Off the rails. All right, back to me. Sebastian and I both have dead dogs. Both our dogs survived to 15 years, but only Sebastian's dog survived sexual assault.
By Danny Masterson.
For me, 15 years was a long, happy life. For Sebastian, it was just right.
Yeah.
That was too far, I know, yeah. I should have stopped.
Guys, Foad's bisexual. Foad had a coming out party. Makes sense. Growing up, his Iranian parents loved a good gay bash. No, they're from a bygone era. He told them he was bi and they were gone.
Says the guy with no dad. Sebastian's favorite movie is Grease because it reminds him of a simpler time when Italians were cool and women couldn't put up a fight and people like me couldn't talk back.
Are you Italian?
No. I went.
You would be? Or yeah, it's like an option. I would, but I work tomorrow. So.
Wow, great joke, Fouad. After that, I'm not worried about an immigrant taking my job.
I'm a citizen. I'm fine. I got a passport, motherfucker.
I don't. Fouad was molested as a kid. That's not the joke.
It was funny when it happened to me.
I don't want to be insensitive, but no one cares. Like I said. Fouad was molested as a kid. And after 15 years in comedy, it's still the only time anyone's enjoyed seeing his bits. No one's enjoyed seeing yours. Sir, you look like Fabio with fetal alcoholism.
Sebastian, he might not have liked seeing my bits, but there's no denying I was tight.
Can confirm. What's up, Fouad? Never mind. He left me hanging like my dad.
Sebastian considers himself a good uncle, and that means making sure his nieces never feel neglected and always feel molested. It's funny that we both had that molestation joke for that last one.
One of Fouad's career goals, and this is true, is to do porn. Fouad, you've been in comedy 15 years. You can't even make an audience come. Fouad, you're too poor to be a porn star. Every time you do a casting couch, you look at the cushions for spare change.
Yeah, it's called passive income. This is why I don't have a day job, you guys. All right, Sebastian's dream job as a kid was to be a cop. But then he grew up and realized he just wanted to be racist and beat his wife. Which is perfect, because he's already Italian.
I don't have a comeback. But Fouad comes on backs. What's up? Were you gonna boo me? I'm sorry. It was my birthday yesterday. Thank you. Sir, why don't you put the...
What do you want?
Behave, or we're gonna send you down the road and back room.
I asked if we could do it, and he said no, and I said I apologize.
Sir, can you put the spare roofie in your own drink this time?
Free drugs?
This guy's
Okay, get back to that.
This guy's got up. Fouad got a TV role as a cop, but he's a person of color, so to get into character, he's gonna shoot himself.
It's more a joke about cops.
There it it is, the number 5 battle of the week. Foad HP versus Sebastian Fazio, who, by the way, in every correspondence with me from Toronto, whether it's the title of the video, his name in an email, Instagram message, he alternates between Sebastian and Sebastiano, and I'm sick of it. Pick a fucking name, and from now on, just give me one name. Every joke in the video was Sebastian this, Sebastian that, and then the title of the video, Sebastiano. It's driving me insane. But other than that, very minor nitpicking note. Really loved that battle. I think, it's been a struggle a little bit for Toronto in their debut season, and they're trying to figure this thing out. And one of the things that I think has plagued them a little bit has been sort of a dead crowd, if we're being honest. And I didn't know if it was a Canadian thing or what. But I feel like a lot of their battles, the crowd is maybe overly polite and not bloodthirsty or ruthless enough. This was the opposite, man. This was to the point of almost detrimented a couple times. Thank God that Foad and Sebastiano both did a really good job sort of, controlling the crowd. There were some cool back and forth moments with the crowd that, frankly, could have gone so far left, and I would prefer as a battler when I'm up there. I don't. It's not a time for crowd work or whatever. But those guys handled it like pros. The crowd was absolutely rowdy. The jokes were really good. It was a lot of fun to see. So hopefully the crowd over there is figuring out what the fuck a roast battle is, and they will respond accordingly and get crazy like that, because that's the kind of energy we need from Toronto, and it was really, really cool to see. So they pull in at the number 5 spot this week. Let's go stateside for the number 4 battle, and this is coming to us from the Bay Area. This was from their recent event at the Sacramento Punchline, and it's a really, really fun battle between Drew Schaefer and Dakota Fry. It's number 4 this week from the Bay Area. Here it is.
Dakota, it's nice to meet you. It really is. It's the first time I've ever met this guy. It's ironic that your last name is Fry, because you look fucking baked.
Thank you, Bojack Horseface. Drew's got the energy of a golden retriever, the overbite of a bulldog, and he looks like he tricks both into licking peanut butter off his balls.
That was good. I like the delivery on that post office Malone. Dakota revealed to me that in middle school he used to break his toes in order to get Vicodin prescriptions. Yeah, it probably explains why he looks like one of the 3 blind mice brought to life by radioactive fentanyl.
Bro, how are you going to talk about the way I look? You look like you baked Jesus a birthday cake on Christmas. Drew married an Indian woman, and he has to chug milk when he goes down on her because her pussy's too spicy.
You wouldn't know about that though, Vicodin cell over there. Dakota actually is in a band. He plays guitar in a band, and I was able to track down some of his music. Adam, you got it? Yeah. I couldn't tell if that was playing here at the Applebee's next door. Like, it took 5 seconds of listening to that for us all to wish you had broken your fingers instead. Like, I think we put the nails in the wrong Jew's hands, okay?
Yeah, I thought you took a hammer to my toes, but you look like someone took a Cracker Barrel to your face. Drew shoots loads into his wife Aurora's scene, but he looks like if she refused him sex, he'd shoot loads at loads of people in the theater in Aurora, Colorado.
Good, that's good. Jonah going downhill. I like that you wear the yarmulke to try to prove to everybody that you're Jewish, but you don't need that to show you're Jewish, because it looks like your worst fear is showers.
All right, Jeffrey Nom Nom Dahmer. Drew famously started doing stand-up to honor his brother who died of cancer 10 years ago. Drew is such a theater kid attention whore that even the story of his brother's tragic demise, he's made himself the main star.
There's the number 4 battle this week. Drew Schaefer, Dakota Fry from the Sacramento Punchline as the Bay Area clings desperately to life for a playoff spot. Coming into action today, they were in 5th place. They pick up 2 points for that battle. So hopefully inching ever closer to New York for that second playoff spot. Love what I've seen out of their scene this year as they continue to grow. The crowds they're drawing are absolutely insane. And I've seen Drew Schaefer before. One of my favorites from up there. Very, very funny. That was my first time seeing Dakota Fry. Really enjoyed him. Anybody who comes on stage in a yarmulke, I'm on board immediately. And he had the jokes to back it up. The BoJack Horseface. Just to give you an idea, I watched all these battles almost 48 hours ago in prepping for the podcast, and have not watched them since. And that's a lot of roast jokes to hear and have them kind of go in and out of your brain. So for one to stick with me like BoJack Horseface is a really high compliment. So congratulations to Dakota Fry and Drew Schaefer for putting on one hell of a battle for the Bay. Okay, we move now to the number 3 battle, and this features the number 1 overall seed in the league. I'm talking about Los Angeles. LA looking to create distance between themselves and New York, who's been creeping closer for that number 1 overall seed. LA is going to pick up 3 points here. Will New York be in this episode to gain more ground on LA? To be determined. Cliffhanger. But for now, we're going to stick in the City of Angels. This was in the Belly Room at the Comedy Store. And it features a battle between someone who's become a star a little bit in our scene over the last couple of years against a newcomer that really in this battle establishes himself as a presence. This is Effie Meadows going up against Luke Binkow. It's number 3 this week from LA. Here it is.
Okay, I'm going to try and make this quick so you can go back to hiding in Hannah Montana's dressing room. Luke's a short Jew, an anti-Semite. You can call him a Hebrew, but you can't say he grew. If I had a quarter for every short joke I wrote about Luke, I'd have 3 quarters, which is about how much of a man he is. No, I liked it.
Effie, maybe you should have thought about converting to Judaism. They would have cut your dick off for free. Effie Meadows actually got her name from an online generator. You put in your childhood pet's name in the first place you got molested.
I'm Southern Baptist. They cut it off still. Luke's pretty adorable, isn't he? He looks like when he comes, he says, "And you've been watching Disney Channel." Tell me where to come, huh?
Give it up for my opponent, Ellen DeGenerate. Effie's wife is actually leaving her. She says it's because she started transitioning. What? You seem like such a fun hang.
My wife actually helped me a lot with my transition. She's a lot like your dad. She created me and then left. Luke had to give up vaping because inhaling poison was a little too on the nose for a Jew. If he was there, if he was in the Holocaust, he'd be asking, does this gas chamber come in strawberry? Who knew the final solution was propylene glycol and nicotine?
I just can't stop thinking about how good that would be. Vape chamber? Effie says that she hated women before she transitioned, but I think saying that this is what they look like is really the most offensive thing you could do.
I want to hear another, if you guys have.
Okay, let's do it. It's one more joke time. Effie, you went first. Luke, you're up first. This is a joke off. Let's go!
Effie shares a birthday with Miley Cyrus, which makes sense because they both put on blonde wigs and thought nobody would notice. And they both love wrecking balls.
Give it up for my opponent, Charlie, in the 10 milligram THC chocolate factory. Never make eye contact with Luke. He's not autistic, but you do have to fight him in a Pokemon battle.
So that was the number 3 battle this week. Effie Meadows, Luke Binkow going to war overtime. It was an outstanding battle. Effie, obviously, if you're a fan of Roast Battle at all, you know her and what she has done over the last year, including winning the Roast Battle Los Angeles Undercard Championship, a belt that I have a feeling Luke is going to be gunning for pretty soon. He's going to work his way up that list of contenders if he keeps writing jokes like that. 3-0 on his Roast Battle career, and Effie has been one of our most consistent performers. Effie embodies exactly what I'm always saying about the show, which is it's not so much about the wins and losses. Obviously, we all want to win when we get up there. It's a competitive sport, and I get that. And we're going to touch on this a little bit more in the episode going forward. The idea that you are having great battles is still ultimately the goal. We're performers. We are performing for a live crowd, both in the room and on the internet. And I would much rather have a classic battle that everybody enjoys from both sides than win a one-sided battle that everybody watches and goes, huh, all right, that kind of sucked. That wasn't a lot of fun. So congratulations to both of them. Excellent battle coming in at number 3 this week. We move to number 2, and we stay in the States, and we go to Chicago. Chicago making one of those furious runs for the second playoff spot. They came in several points behind New York. They need a couple weeks worth of catch-up. Well, they got a little bit of catching up right here with the number 2 battle this week. They're going to pick up 4 points. This is from their debut show at Zanies. Congratulations to them. They have officially made the move from the Lincoln Lodge to Zanies Comedy Club, which is a big upgrade. I was at the Lincoln Lodge a few months ago. I'm glad I got to see the show there. It was incredible. It was a great venue. But onward and upward to Zanies. And they had a monster main event at the first Zanies show. This features a guy that you have seen on this podcast, both battling and doing a little bit of a controversial interview. I'm talking about Brandon Kiefer, who famously came on the podcast and said that he doesn't care to know anything about his opponent. He doesn't care to give up any information. He will just make shit up. And you may remember from the Mothership, he came out there and bullied a little bit. Evan Warner from LA sort of steamrolled him. He's going to try similar tactics in this battle with a slightly different outcome. This is Brandon Kiefer going up against one of Chicago's best, Eric Emerson. It's the number 2 battle this week. Check it out.
Brandon, how are you? You look like you're doing poorly, and we're worried about you. We worried you're drinking because your head looks like it's being preserved in a jar by a mad scientist. If you guys couldn't tell, Brandon is going through kind of a messy divorce. I guess marriage isn't so easy a caveman can do it.
Look, you look like Eric's transitioning right now, but I can't tell which way. He's a mama's boy, but a daddy's girl.
I'm transitioning to or from your outfit right now. What are you talking about?
Jesus Christ. You need to be a stay-at-home comedian. I'll say this, you're also Southern, but you look like you do HR for the Klan.
You know how hard it is doing HR work for you guys? It's a nightmare. Especially when you keep painting flowers on your robes. We don't have the budget. Brandon is...
All right, Rick Moranis.
All right, American History XL.
Jesus Christ. He looks like he's about to make a documentary about what it's like to be a black person in America. But then dumped it because he found out he had to talk to black people.
You look like you're about to drop your beer, shaky hands. You okay?
I know.
It's his first one of the night. Don't worry, he evens out.
I went from the Chicago Theater, whatever the fuck this is.
He actually was at the Chicago Theater. His first time under bright lights since cops asked, how much have you had to drink tonight?
One time in band camp, Eric stuck a flute in his pussy. I bet you lost your virginity accidentally.
That's what I call it when you rape me. So yes.
At least someone will fuck you. Eric's girlfriend, Eric gives his girlfriend rides to her boyfriend's house. And then he makes her a nice meal from his cookbook.
I'd rather be the guy driving than the guy filming, you fucking weirdo.
Your favorite sexual position is holding your girlfriend's purse while she blows a man.
My favorite sexual position is holding your hair from behind. Those jeans didn't come like that.
I made him, goddammit.
I'll go ahead. I'll say this. I think Brandon is what gardeners would look like if Hitler won.
You wouldn't be up here if Hitler won, all right? I'll say... Actually, I don't even know what the fuck that meant, all right? Can we edit that one out, please? Eric and his girlfriend actually broke up because he works nights and she's in high school.
Hey, guys, be gentle. Divorce is very tough, and Brandon's really taking it on what I think was once a chin.
Look, I might be getting divorced, but your girlfriend can't even legally get married yet.
It saved me a lot of money. His ex-wife is German, and the divorce is holocausting him everything.
Wow.
Right now, he's got an open micer trying to divide up $220 in a pack of Millers.
Wow, that one hurts. He's actually bisexual, I assume. He said he doesn't care if it's a girl or a guy, as long as they're white.
I like a lot of you guys, I used to think that the big ugly gap in Brandon's front teeth was because his white trash family couldn't afford dental. It's actually court mandated because the lisp stops him from hitting a hard R.
My teeth touch more than you and your girlfriend do. Where are we at on all this? I think we did like 30 jokes.
Was I supposed to be counting that?
I don't know.
Here we go. I got a good one. So battle. There we go. Like I said, Brandon's ex-wife is German, and when they split, he actually had to leave the place that they lived in and moved into a shitty flop house with a bunch of failed comedians. Who can imagine a German forcing a man from his home to bunk with Jews, communists, and retards?
Eric's got the kind of white privilege that black people don't get angry at.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I thought I had COVID earlier. I don't. I'm doing all right.
Hey, shortly after Brandon moved into his shitty new place, a big chunk of it caught on fire and burned down. Don't worry, I heard after Neanderthals master fire, you get agriculture and then it's on to sex with human women. So that's gonna be good.
Oh man, at least my human women are 18, all right? You literally were dating a 22-year-old girl. The craziest part about it is that it was a girl.
I will say the saddest thing, I think, the greatest tragedy of Brandon's divorce is that now he'll never know what it feels like to be a father for 2 years then die of liver failure.
Well, at least he ended on a strong one. All right.
Last one? You got one?
We got one more, yeah.
Do you? Yeah.
Do you have any more?
I remember that time you called the police on a rap song.
We made a deal that if one of us bombed at the end, the other would bomb too.
Yeah.
So it would be fair.
Oh, give it up for them, everybody.
There we
Holy
go.
shit. Oh my God.
So there it is, the number 2 battle this week, Brandon Kiefer, Eric Emerson from Chicago. Of course, we mentioned Brandon Kiefer dominated at the Mothership a couple of months back. Eric Emerson will be at the Comedy Mothership in Austin for a mega Roast Battle League event on October 9th. If you're in the area, keep an eye out for tickets going on sale. We are going to have battlers there from 8 of the 12 RBL cities. I am so excited. I'm really looking forward to it. Eric will be taking on Morgan Anderson, the winner of our 2023 South by Southwest tournament, as she reps the Bay Area. That one is going to be insane. This battle was also insane. As you can see, Eric showed up ready to play Brandon's game, man. He, off the cuff was outstanding. The written material was really good. It got to the point at the end where the written stuff, I feel like, couldn't follow the off-the-cuff riffing. You saw their last jokes each kind of flopped, but everything before that was a lot of fun. Eric, he can do a lot of different styles, which is very cool, very impressive to see, and it's good for Chicago as they try to move up and grab that second playoff spot, but right on their heels is the number 1 city this week, and I'm talking about Austin. Austin in 4th place, in the midst of an incredible run as they try to make this thing happen. 2 weeks in a row now, they have had the number 1 battle, and that's happened before. We've had cities go back-to-back with the number 1 battles, but this is a first. 2 weeks in a row, a battler has the number 1 overall battle. In this case, it's Ryer Kammerman. Now, Ryer, up until 2 weeks ago, she was 1-0, I believe, or 0-1. She had only had 1 battle on the season. We hadn't seen her on the podcast. And then all of a sudden, coming out of nowhere, with back-to-back number 1 battles. Last week, it was against Patrick Depari. This week, it is against Francisco Rincon. This one happened at the Mothership last time we were there. Absolutely incredible, unbelievable battle. So much fun. And for Francisco, this is also his second number 1 battle of the season. So Ryer Kammerman and Francisco Rincon join Ryan Cullen. And who was the other guy? Give me 1 second. I keep detailed notes on this thing. And that's embarrassing that I don't know. And I'm very, very sorry. Dan Wicks. Dan Wicks of New York. I'm not going to edit this out. We're just going to go with it. Dan Wicks, how could I forget? Dan Wicks of New York and then Ryan Cullen of Scotland were the only 2 battlers with 2 number 1 battles. They have now been joined by Ryer Kammerman and Francisco Rincon as they pick up 5 points for Austin. Here it is.
Ryer looks like she could be anything from a 11-year-old boy to a 50-year-old lesbian. She looks like she eats pussy, but she has to remove the crust.
At least I'm from the country with food. Francisco, you troubled chihuahua. Francisco looks like he roofies quesadillas.
Ryer, thank you for being here and taking a break from talking to your plants.
Thanks for taking a break from fucking my plants.
Thanks for taking a break from mouth feeding your birds.
From full-on gay sex.
Hey Ryder, how disappointed was the priest when he found out he didn't get head from a little boy?
He told me that he can't have a beard. And I said, what? I thought I just met your girlfriend.
He said, I'm a huge pussy, I do sound like Puss in Boots. Ryan will be delivering your DoorDash in a unicycle later.
Yes. I do own a unicycle. I do. And thank you, Ricky Ritardo. I'm so glad that you dressed like a shadow with Down syndrome. So funny.
Ryder, it's past your bedtime. You should go home to, Ryder sleeps in a tent inside her bedroom. You have to wake up early tomorrow. You have to practice coloring and not eating the crayons.
Stick them in your ass. Francisco and I have a lot in common. I want to be a man about as much as he wants to be a citizen. Sixth president, go.
About a year ago, Ryder tried coming out as a man, and nobody believed her. So, hey Ryder, how about next time you try coming out as a boy?
I would, but you would fuck me right away. Francisco's girlfriend used to be his roommate. Also, when he was 5, he was molested by his cousin. So, you know, his bed is kind of like the Olive Garden, because whenever he's there, he's family. Were you molested?
Yeah, she was 13, I was 28, and...
You look both of those ages right now. You're so confused.
Last joke.
Alright, Ryder used to wrestle in high school, but she quit because she was struggling balancing schoolwork with wrestling her own sexuality.
I would beat your ass right now, you weak little man. Do you want me to mark your height on the wall real quick, you tiny little cunt?
You look like if Justin Bieber never made it.
And there you have it, Austin, the second week in a row, picking up 5 points for the #1 battle. So much fun. Loved everything about that battle. And loved seeing the star of Ryer Kammerman rise. Of course, we've known about Francisco Rincon. And it's gonna be interesting as we talk about sort of the MVP race. I mean, I was on here a couple weeks ago saying I think Shalaka Kurup of London has it locked up. And there's a few people on that list, but I also said there's a lot of season left. And what we've seen since then is, you know, Austin make this charge. And if you're a sports fan, you've heard this argument before. When we talk about most valuable player or battler, what is the true definition of valuable? I hear this argument every single year. Is valuable being the best in the world, or is it being the one who has the most big moments to get their team in a position to do something special. And if we go by the latter definition, you know, Francisco Rincon and Ryer Kammerman. I mean, Ryer, it's been unbelievable what she has done the last couple weeks, but Francisco, with 2 number 1 battles, I believe he's put up 13 total points for Austin. He has a spectacular win-loss record. I believe it's 6-1. This is a guy that is going to be part of the conversation for sure when the year ends as well. It all depends on what you're looking at. Is it about wins? What is your criteria? Is it about dominating your scene? Is it about putting on those great battles and earning points? I know certain people who would vote for a battler who's 0-5 if all 5 of those battles were instant classics and racking up RBL points. So when it comes down to the committee and everybody's voting, it's going to be very interesting to see what they do, what they say. To me, though, one thing is for sure, Francisco Rincon will be part of those discussions, without a doubt. And let's look at the reason why, and it is because Austin is moving ever closer to that second playoff spot. Austin seemed kind of dead and out of the race a couple of weeks ago. That is no longer the case. It was a big week for Chicago and for Austin, picking up points. 5 for Austin, 4 for Chicago. New York failed to make the top 5 this week. So now Chicago is within striking distance. They are 5 points behind with 7 weeks to go. Austin lurking at 6.5 back as New York tries to hang on to that spot. LA distancing themselves a little bit from New York, creating a little bit of space there, a little bit of separation for that number 1 overall seed. On the international side, only Toronto picks up any points this week. They end up moving out of the basement for the first time in a while. So kudos to them. Scotland and Tokyo, I alluded to this earlier, both had battles that individually by certain people were ranked as high as number 3, but they were left off of other ballots. This thing is subjective, and I try to get as many opinions as I can to make it as fair as possible. But the top 3 spots end up untouched this week. London, Scotland, and Tokyo. They remain in the same position with 7 weeks to go. Will one of them make a charge and claim the division as their own? We will find out. Appreciate you guys joining us. And we'll be back next week in some capacity, whether it's here or back to normal. Still waiting to find out. But we'll be back next week with more great battles as we count down the end of the Roast Battle League season. Until next time, I'm Pat Barker. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys next week.